how product price is fixed? Everyone may be knowing that based on the expenditure they have spent in producing the product, they will add certain profit and they will be fixing no price of the product. But that always it may not be possible. So sometimes a producer needs to sell the product at the price which is fixed in the market. Like agricultural products, how they are going to sell in the market at a fixed price, no? The government is going to fix the price of the product, and at that price only, these farmers needs to sell their product in the market. So how this the price of the product will be fixed by the government? Any idea? Hmm? No idea. So taking into consideration law of demand and the law of supply. So both concepts will be used here to determine this price of the product. So law of demand is telling you what the consumer is desiring, whether he wants to have that product or not, whether he is going to purchase a product or not. And the law of supply is telling us that at what price the producer want to sell his product to meet this desire of the consumers, that is demand of the product. Okay, so these two laws we are going to use, two graphs we are going to use, and we are going to find out an equilibrium price. So that equilibrium price, how you are going to get, means when the quantity of supply of the product and the quantity of the demand of the product is equalized, both are same. So where both are same, there the price will be fixed for the product to sell in the market. So this can be said that when the supply curve and the demand curve both are going to intersect, they are going to touch at a point. So that intersection point is called as what? Equilibrium price. So that is indicating you what is the price and what is the quantity that should be in the market. Okay. So for that we have to see how this is going to be determined. So you have to take both the supply curve and the demand curve on the graph, single graph. We have separately drawn now. So how the demand curve is flowing? So demand curve will be flowing from left to right downwards, right? So here a quantity of product we are showing here. We are not saying that it is a demand or it is supply. So quantity indicates that both the supply and the demand. So for that we have taken here as on x-axis as quantity of product and the price on the y-axis. So demand curve we are going to show here. So how it is drawn and how the supply curve. What is this curve indicates? Which is showing on the screen? Forgot? So whenever the curve is flowing from left to right upwards, that indicates a supply curve. So this is the supply curve. And we name it as SS. SS is the supply curve, which is flowing from left to right upwards. And how the demand curve will be flowing? So demand curve will flow from left to right downwards. So name it as DD. So DD is the demand curve, which is flowing left to right downwards. So both are intersecting at a point, right? So you can see here both are intersecting at a point. So a supply curve is crossing the demand curve and demand curve is crossing the supply curve at this point. So this point is taken as the price of the product to determine the price of the product. So let us say that is the P is the price and Q is the quantity of supply as well as quantity of demand. So how much quantity that is required to be supplied into the market and how much quantity that is required by the customers indicates what? Q. So this is how the price of the product will be fixed in the market. So they will consider both the supply of the product and the demand of the product into consideration, and where both are equalized. So then at that point, price of the product will be fixed. So this is how in a market the price of the product is going to be determined. So where we can say that the price is in equilibrium. Equilibrium price also we can call it as. So sometimes do you think always the demand curve will be in the same manner? Sometimes the demand may be increasing or sometimes it may be reducing due to some reasons. Can you tell any reason for increase or decreasing in this demand curve? Sorry, this is the demand curve, no? Sorry, determination of price. So demand curve will be shifted to right side like this. Above what it is previously it was DD, but now it has moved to somewhat upwards, which we can name it as D1 D1. So when the demand is going to move to the right of already existing demand curve, so we can say that there is increase in the demand of the product, whereas the supply, so there is no change in the supply. Okay, so then what happens? The quantity required in the market is Q1. So this will, what it will do is it will increase the price because the supply in the market has been same, no, as previously, whereas suddenly demand has been increased. So automatically the price of the product has been increased to P1. Quantity required is Q1, but supplied is Q. So automatically what happens? To equalize the supply and the demand, we need to increase the price, P1. Okay, so like this, for example, if you take in COVID, N95 masks are there, no? So for those masks, what happened at that time in the last year? Suddenly price has been increased, right? Why that has taken place? Even 150 rupees N95 mask has been sold for 500, 700 like that in the market. Why? Because there is more demand during that period. But suddenly the manufacture of those products cannot be taken place. Immediately they cannot supply into the market according to the requirement in the market. So what the sellers has done means to cope up with that demand, they have increased the price to 500, 700, etc., etc. Isn't it? So that is how the price will be when there is no change in the supply. Supply is same, but suddenly due to some reason, this demand for the product has been increased. So there the price of the product will be increased. So there, because that is equilibrium is at this point on the supply curve. This is the point we can say. You can see on the screen with the cursor, moving of the cursor. So this is the point where the supply and demand is equalized. So automatically the price will be P1, not P. So this is what it will happen when the demand curve flows shift to the right side of the previous demand. Okay. So in the same manner, we can't say that demand always shift to the right side. Sometimes that may shift to the left side also, below this DD curve also. Can you give example for that? Any example? COVID example? Hmm? Demand has been reduced. Sudden, you can take the example of chicken, mutton. At that time, what was the price? What was the price? Even for 40 rupees kg, chicken was sold. No one is ready to purchase that product, right? Why? Their demand has been reduced suddenly. There is no change in the supply, but demand has been reduced. So due to which what happened? They reduced the price. To sell their product, they need to reduce the price. So at that time, it was 40 rupees. Even free of cost, they want to give it. No customer is ready to take that product. In the last year, at the same time, same in May, April, May. So you might have seen a video also. Some of the producer, he got angry on that situation and he cannot overcome that, due to which he killed the chickens, right? So that is how the situation was. So that may take place sometimes. So due to any reason, demand may reduce. Even supply is there in the market. So then automatically the quantity of demand is Q3, let us say, example, Q3 demand only it is required. So, but Q quantity is there in supply in the market. So to get the equilibrium, so what they are, this equilibrium they want not to fix the price. So whatever the price that is required here to sell off their supply, what is existing in the market, they will be reducing the price. Producers will be reducing the price. Let us say that is P3. So this is how the price fluctuations will be taking place in the market. So taking into consideration both the demand as well as the supply of the product. So even though supply is not changing, so due to change in the demand, price will be increasing and decreasing. Okay. So certain reasons you can take here for a shifting of this uh, demand curve. So as we said, suddenly their taste preference of chicken was reduced, right? Preferences of the customers was changed. They don't want to take chicken, due to which they felt that COVID may affect them. So preferences are also one of the reason. And income of consumer, all the factors are there. No, all those factors will be affecting here, and expectations also sometimes. No, don't think only about the COVID situation. So some other situations, due to any other reasons, demand may be reduced or demand may be increased. So shifting of this demand curve will take place. So that may be reasons, may be due to consumers' preferences. I gave here example like introduction of cell phones. So what that has done, even new technology in cell phones are bringing a reduction in the sales of already existing cell phones. Here it was given a pages. Pages, previously pages used to be there for which the consumers used to use that product. So suddenly cell phones entered means pages preference was reduced, eliminated, even eliminated. Now it is not existing in the market. Before 20 years back, pages you are existing. At that time, I think you people are not there. So, like that, income of consumers also sometimes it will shift this product. As we have discussed all this while discussing about the demand factors of demand. Okay, so all these factors may be uh, shifting this demand curve, moving the demand curve from left or from to left or to right based on the situation. 2 examples I gave, that is enough, I think. Okay, so is that only demand curve will be shifting, moving from the existing place to the right side or left side? Hmm? Even supply also sometimes affects. Sometimes supply is also going to be shifted to left or to right. So this indicates left side, right? So this is moving from the existing. This this is already existing. SS is indicated as already existing one. So newly it has been shifted to the another place, which is left side. We can say shifted to left side. So name it as S1 S1. So this is how a supply may be shifted. When it is going to move to the left side, indicates that supply is reduced. Supply is reduced. This may be due to expectations of the producers. They may expect that in future the price may be uh, increasing. So in such a case, what they will do is they will store the material that they have produced. So due to which it will shift to the left side, which will actually makes the price to increase because supply is reduced in the market, but there is more demand in the market. So demand is the same. There is no change in the demand. Suddenly supply reduces. What happens? The price will be increasing. As we have taken example of this masks. Okay. So you can also take any other example also. So like oxygen cylinders. Now what it is happening? A present example. So the supply of oxygen cylinders are less, but the demand is more. So what it is happening? It is selling at higher prices. 1,50,000, 2 lakhs, like that. People are sellers are demanding. They are not considering that it is a health related problem, but the government is going to restrict them. Even remdesivir, they are also not available. No, so people are ready to purchase in block also. So when customers are ready to pay more than what it is in the market, what the price of the market is, then automatically these sellers, what they are going to do, they are going to sell at higher prices, which will be forcing this price to increase because everyone want that medicine, so which will increase the price due to reduction. Even supply is there, sometimes they will create that there is no supply, like that also these sellers will do to, because demand is more, they want to sell it for higher prices to make more profits. Such strategies people are going to do. They don't take into consideration what it is happening. Humanity is not there. Such people only will do like that. So sometimes this supply may be shifted to the right side. Right side means more quantity is going to supplied into the market. So then what it is required is Q, only Q quantity is required, but the supplied quantity is Q3. So automatically what happens? The price will move from P to P3. Okay, so this will price will come down from this point to this point, P3. So this is how the supply curve shifting also makes the price to increase and decrease in the market. So price determination is going to be done based on this supply and the demand in this manner. So anyhow they want to get equilibrium. So why supply will be increasing means when there is here when the price is P1, every seller want to sell his price, sell his product in the market because more price they are getting by selling the product. So like that, the number of people enters the market and they want to sell the product. Automatically, it will supply will increase and it will reduce the price to P3. Q3 of supply will be there in the market, so which will suddenly make the price to reduce to P3. Okay, so if this even these shiftings are there, again if they supply is more here price is reduced means automatically what happens, those who entered the market slowly what they are going to do, they start existing the market, exit from the markets. So automatically from S2 to SS position supply will reach. So again the price will be fixed at P. So like this, even shifting is taking place. That will move slowly to this point, P point, to the quantity price. Again, equilibrium it will reach due to the reason that people, those who are losing the profits, they are not earning the profit, they will exit from the market. So again, supply will reach to SS and the price will be P. So like this, price will be fluctuating and reaching to the same point, same equilibrium point. So why this supply will be shifting like this? Certain factors are going to be affected here. No, input products prices. If inputs are products are price is increased, so they need to cope up with that input prices, because raw material they are going to purchase are costly, and in such cases they cannot sell it for P3 price, right? So, so in such a case, they will exit the market. And not only input prices, when number of sellers are increased, entered the market, so automatically the competition will be increased and products that were supplied into the market will be increased. That means supply will be increased in the market. And even technology is going to increase the supply. New technology, if you are going to use in your organization, which is producing a large quantity within a short period, so what you will do with that quantity which you have produced within the short period? So you cannot store in the warehouses, right? So that should be sold in the market. So to sell in the market, these producers, what they will do is they will dump whatever the production is there into the market. So that will also make the supply curve to shift. So this is how it will be taking place. Any doubts in understanding this topic? Any of you? With that, we have completed this